For more on today's Select Committee hearing, let's bring in ABC News political director Rick Klein. Rick, as you know, the Select Committee has faced questions over its membership after the GOP withdrew its slate. Even with 2 GOP members appointed by Speaker Pelosi, do you feel like this committee can be effective investigating January 6th, or is it all too clouded by politics at this point?
I don't think the two questions are mutually exclusive, Lindsay. I think it can be an effective committee, and I think the initial days showed exactly why. By putting people on the record, by having public testimony, by potentially wielding a subpoena power down the road, they can get to things that no other public entity has done, and we're not going to have a big bipartisan commission. And in terms of the politicization, you heard it from some of the witnesses today, those law enforcement officials who were literally under attack. This entire event was political. And so taking politics out of it, I don't think is a realistic goal. And I think to hear the members talk about it today, the important thing is to try to do it in as honest and open a way as possible. That doesn't mean you're going to have full Republican participation, but that's the price of doing business at this stage, because if you want to answer the questions that Democrats and at least a few Republicans want answered, it's going to mean going it alone. And I think this committee is off to a strong start in doing that.
And Republicans, of course, did reject the independent bipartisan commission format that would have given them equal voices in hearings. And the 2 GOP members, Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney, both spent time today questioning, really pushing back on GOP talking points from January 6th. So are Republicans losing something by not participating?
It was striking to not have the voice of Trump loyalists in the opening day of these hearings. We've become used to, whether it's impeachment or any other areas of congressional oversight, certain members of the former president's party engaging in procedural antics, complaints, and generally just leveling critiques at Democrats for engaging in what they view as a witch hunt. I think by choosing not to participate, McCarthy, of course, didn't have his choices all accepted by Pelosi. He decided to pull everyone. They lost an opportunity to at least try to push back. That said, I think a lot of people would have liked to see Republicans try to push these members of the law enforcement community, people that were there themselves as witnesses, and try to impugn their credibility. I think that there was something missing from that, but I do think that for this initial day, Republicans, by being silent, did give up an opportunity to try to make a case. Maybe it's a case they didn't feel like they could have made or should have made in this forum, but it was certainly missing from this day.
And really, to that point, we've also, of course, heard Republicans now pushing that this committee needs to investigate why the security situation wasn't prepared for January 6th, and that Speaker Pelosi is to blame for that. Do you think that that's at all an effective argument?
Well, they're certainly going to push it, and I think the committee is going to have to look at least parts of this. I don't see them calling Nancy Pelosi. I think Republicans are vastly overstating any culpability, any responsibility that Pelosi would have had for the Capitol complex. Lots of congressional leaders are involved in securing it, and certainly the root causes of this are far afield from the lack of engagement with the warning signs. But that's what the Republican talking point has been. They're pushing it, they're stating it, and I think overstating the facts so far. But I consider it at this point mostly a political smokescreen to make it about Pelosi and about the questions that this committee isn't answering, rather than the questions that it's trying to get answers to.
And we did hear some compelling testimony from those Capitol Hill police officers today. What do you think can be accomplished by this committee as far as potentially revealing new information about January 6th, and who else could we see as a potential witness?
Yeah, I think day one was the baseline, just establishing the facts, reminding people, even if they knew the bare bones of it or if they'd seen a lot of the video, how fraught, how scary it was in the moment. I was struck and riveted by the testimony and the video as well, reliving that day from 6 months ago, that horrible day. The key question now is what documents, what evidence, what information this committee is able to compile, whether that's phone records or other communications records between officials and aides. And critically, I think the testimony of former White House officials under President Trump, and even members of Congress up to including Jim Jordan and Kevin McCarthy, people that have said they spoke to President Trump on that day. That, to me, is going to fill in a lot of the timeline and a lot of the blanks that we have in understanding of that horrific day.
Rick Klein, thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.